boys and girls. I'm Miss Millirons with the Math Department, and today we're talking about fluency. What strategies can we use to help us be more fluent in solving addition problems? Some of the strategies we're going to talk about today is counting on, doubles, doubles plus 1, making 10, and using fact families. All right, but before we do that, we're going to do the mystery number. And I picked the mystery number 15, 5 ones and 1 10. Okay, and I put it here in the center of this cross. And so the first thing is I'm going to find 1 less than 15, and 1 less than 15 will be 14. And that is right here. Okay, and here's our number 15. Okay, 1 more than 15 is, yes, 16. And I will write 16 right here. Okay, and so I can now do 10 less, which is 5. And you can count back to get to 5 from 15, and 10 more is 25. Right, now I'm going to fill in the column. The column starts with 5 and goes all the way down to 115. So I would write 115 here and fill in all of the numbers between 5 and 115. Now I'm going to fill in the row, and the row is 11 through 20. And so I'm going to fill in all of the numbers that fall between 11 and 20. This is a great activity to practice finding 1 less, 1 more, 10 more, and 10 less. And you can also think about the patterns that you see while you are solving your number. All right, another strategy that we use is called the count on strategy. And so what we do with the count on strategy is we find the largest add-in, which in this case is 5, and then we add on. I know in some of your classrooms you say 5, and we put it in our head, and then we add on 2 more. So let's do that. Let's say 5. This is our largest add-in, and then we're going to add 6 and 7 for a total or sum of 7. So this is called the count on strategy. All right, here is the count on strategy as well. The first one is to find 1 more. So we know that we have 5 soccer balls. So in our head, we can say 5, and then we can add on 1 more, and we have 6. Okay, here is another count on strategy. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 baseballs. So we can say 4 in our head, and then add 5, 6, 7, 8, and have a total of 8. We're also going to talk about the fact that 4 with its double of 4, and we're going to talk about how you can use doubles also to find answers to sums quickly. All right, let's look at this one. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can say 6 in our head and add on 3. So 6 plus 7, 8, 9. So our answer is 9. All right, here's another example of a count on strategy without any pictures. So let's read this. 5 small hats and 2 big hats. How many hats in all? Well, first, we're talking about hats. And the question asked, how many hats in all? So we start with the largest add-in, which is 5. So we say 5 in our head, 5. and then we add on 2. So it would be 5, 6, 7. So 5 plus 2 equals 7. All right, this is where we're using a number bond to talk about doubles. Let's read the word problem. Some ants are on a rock. 3 ants join them. Now there are 6 ants. How many ants were on the rock? Well, first of all, we're talking about ants. All right, and we're saying there were some ants on a rock. And we're also saying that the total of the ants, or the whole, is 6. And we have part of the whole, but we have to find the other part. So we're using a part to get a whole. All right, so if we use doubles, we could say 3 plus 3 is 6, because we know 3 2 times is 6. So we can write it down here. So we can use a number bond to show part, whole to get the number 6 using doubles. All right, here's another example. There are 4 pencils and they are long. There are 5 pencils that are short. How many pencils in all? Well, we can use doubles to figure this out. We can say, first of all, we can start with the largest, add in 5, and we can say, okay, what might make a double plus 1 to be able to add this? So we could say that 4 plus 1 is the same as 5. And so then we can add this 4. So we have the double 4 plus 4, and the double 4 plus 4 equals 8, plus 1 equals 9. So we could use doubles there, but we can also call this a doubles plus 1. And that is the next thing we're going to talk about, and that has to do with our pencils. You see it said 4 pencils are long and 5 pencils are short. How many pencils in all? Use doubles and add 1 more. So that's what we did. We had 4 and then 4 more and added on 1 to get 9. This is called doubles plus 1. Here's another example. We have 3 small sticks, which we can call 2 plus 1. So 2 plus 2 plus 1 equals 5. So we made it a double plus 1. Remember that these are all strategies to help you efficiently and accurately to find an answer. But if you know the answer without having to do doubles plus 1, and you can say it's 5, that's awesome. All right, here's another one. This says 3 players on the blue team, 4 players on the red team. How many players in all? All right, so how many players in all? 3 on the blue team, 4 on the red team, so we have 3 plus 4. Well, we can change 4 to a double of 3 plus 3 is 6. So then we can say 3 plus 3 plus 1 is 7. So the double we use to solve this problem, which is the question that I asked you, what is the double can we use to solve this problem? The double is 3. All right, another one. Max has 3 red beads and 3 blue beads. How many beads does Max have? That's a double. So 3 plus 3 is 6. Then Max finds one more red bee. Now how many bees does Max have? So Max now has a double, 3 plus 3, and he adds on one more. So a double plus 1, and he has a total of 7 bees. All right, the next strategy we're going to talk about is making a 10. And so we know that there are ways to make a 10. We can look at this and see that there is one blue square and there is 9 red squares. So 1 plus 9 is 10. And then we can do what you guys call flip-flop and say 9 plus 1 is 10, which is really called the commutative property. And we can use the commutative property and get the same sum. We can switch the add-ins around and get the same sum. So we can continue to do this by saying 2 plus 8 is 10, and 8 plus 2 is 10. We can say 3 plus 7 is 10. We can say 7 plus 3 is 10. We can say 4 plus 6 is 10. And we can say 6 plus 4 is 10. And then, of course, we can do doubles. 5 plus 5 is 10. And of course, you know that if we flip 5 around, we still got 5 plus 5, which equals 10. So we can use making a 10 to help us solve problems. All right, here is making a 10 to add. All right, so what we did was we had 8 here, 8 plus 6, and 6 here. Okay, so let's make a 10 by moving 2 of the yellow dots over to the 10 frame. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and some more. And our some more left over is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we made a 10, and then we have some left over. So we said 8 plus 2 is 10. We filled in the 10 frame. And then we said 10 plus 4 more is 14. So 8 plus 6 is 14. So we can make a 10 to add. And the same thing happens here. The problem is 8 plus 7. And so we made a 10 by moving 2 of the counters over. 8 plus 2 is 10. And then we said some more, and there's 5. So we say 10 plus 5 is 15. So 8 plus 7 is 15. So we use 10 and a 10 frame to count or add numbers. All right, let's look at the last one. This is called a number path, and we have doubles, 7 plus 7. All right, we can say that 7 plus 3 makes a 10, and then we have 4 left over, and we can add that to it, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So 7 plus 7 is 14. All right, same thing here, where we can use a 10 frame or we can use a number path to solve this problem. We can say 7 plus 6 in the 10 frame, move 3 of the black dots over to make a 10. And once we've made a 10, we have some left over. So 10 plus 3 is 13, or we can say that 7 plus 6 is 13. We could also use doubles here and say doubles plus 1. We can say 6 plus 6 plus 1 equals 13. The bottom one uses a number path. We can start with 9, add 1 from the 4 to make 10, and the 3 left over we count on to make 13. And you can see that in the picture. We added 1 to make 10, and then we added the 3 to make 13. All right, boys and girls, you will be getting this fluency sheet in your packet this week for fluency. Okay, and it has questions just like we have been doing. Find 5 plus 3, and how do you know? So use one of the strategies that we talked about. All right, and then the next one is there are 7 balloons and 3 pop. How many are left, and how do you know? Okay, you can use one of the strategies of adding on. And then it says, how can you solve 6 plus something equals 8? And I think that you could use one of the strategies that we've talked about. All right. And down at the bottom, it says, what other number sentence could be used to help you find 2 plus 3? And how do you know? And then how can you solve 12 minus 3 using friendly numbers? All right, boys and girls, it was great to be with you this afternoon. And I hope you know that you can find this video and packet on knoxschools.org/KCS at home. And there's also supplemental activities or resources there as well. Thank you and have a great afternoon.